Jenny, I would love for you to share a little bit about your story.
All right. Can you hear me, Allison? Perfect. Thank you so much for asking me to share a little bit of my story on this call today. So great to see everyone on this call. But a little bit about my, my health history. I have struggled kind of with my health my whole entire life. And at the age of 16, I was diagnosed with a autoimmune disease called ulcerative colitis. And at that age, I didn't really know or understand really what it was doing to my body. I just knew that the doctors told me to take medication and to control my stress because that was the big factor that would cause flares in my body. And so that's what I did for many, many, many years. And then about 4 years ago, I found out that in my dad's side of the family, we carry a hereditary mutated cancer gene called BRCA. And I found out that I was BRCA2 positive, which puts me at risk for 4 different cancers: breast, ovarian, melanoma, and pancreatic cancer. And I just kind of felt like, the world was against me and all these things were stacked up for my health. And I was just thinking, gosh, how am I going to live the rest of my life? I'm young, I'm only in my 30s. And it was about a year and a half ago that I was introduced to LifeVantage and these products, these activators called Protandim. And when I saw the science behind it, I just knew, like, gosh, if this could help my health even just a little bit, I'm going to take it. And so I started taking them, and little by little, I started seeing changes, whether it was related to my ulcerative colitis or whether it was related to my BRCA gene. Because I have had some preventative surgeries to eliminate a few of those cancer risks in my body. And the surgeries, upon anesthesia, just wreak havoc inside of your body. And going through early menopause was just crazy. So I was able to feel some results from taking these activators, with not having, some flares, some pain in my gut, but also feeling the effects of the activators on like my body as like hormones, like eliminating those hot flashes, the mental clarity that I felt like I was losing my mind, that was clearing up. So as I continued to take them month after month, these little changes were happening. And it wasn't like it was sudden or, things quickly, but I just noticed over time I was feeling better. I wasn't in pain as often. And it was just recently, it was actually just last week, I had like this huge, I don't know, it was just an amazing moment. With my ulcerative colitis, I have to have colonoscopies done every 2 years because my risk of colon cancer is greatly increased because of my colitis. So not only because of the BRCA gene carrying, risk of 4 different cancers, now I, had added the colon cancer risk to it. But I had to have those screenings done every single 2 years. And it was time for, me to be done last week. And I went in, and when I came out of that screening, my doctor was really amazed. He was shocked. The report said that there was absolutely no sign of colitis in my gut, in my intestines. And he said I was in remission from ulcerative colitis. And this is not something that like you can just get rid of. I mean, this is something that they told me I was going to live with for the rest of my life. I was going to take medication for the rest of my life, an anti-inflammatory medication for the rest of my life. And he actually said, like, when you come see me in October, we're going to talk about possibly taking you off of your prescription medication. Sorry, I kind of get a little emotional, but it's just something that, like I felt the changes in my body, but to have that screening, have the doctor see that there was absolutely no sign of the colitis in my colon anymore, and for him to say those words, "You're in remission," those were words I thought I would never, ever hear. And I just have to say, being on these activators the last year and a half, it has completely changed my life. It's changed my health, obviously. I feel better, you know, I sleep better. It's just something I will continue to take forever. You know, I loved it so much. I share the products with people. But just to hear that from the doctor was amazing. I still am going to have colonoscopies every 2 years, you know, just out of screening, because, you know, it is something that I'm going to live with the rest of my life. But to know that my body's being activated and it's healing me from the inside out was amazing. So that's just a little bit of my story. I honestly was completely in awe when I got those results last week. So thank you for letting me share just a little bit. Obviously, I could probably talk on and on about it, but I don't want to take up too much time. So thank you so much, Allison. I would like to introduce to you guys the next speaker. She's actually my mom. I introduced her to these products like right when I started taking them, and I was just like, you've got to take them too. She's kind of suffered from some health issues as well, and she's going to share with you her story, but she has an incredible story. She's a mom. I have a sister. She's a mom of two daughters, and she has 4 grandkids. She's retired from the medical field. So I'm going to pass the call over to my mom, Carrie Stone. So you can unmute yourself down in the bottom corner.
Okay, so I think I got it.
You're good.
Yay. This is my first Zoom. So, so yeah, my story kind of started 15 years ago. I was diagnosed with diabetes, type 2 diabetes. There is no family history of diabetes. I was not obese. So there was no reason for me to have diabetes, but I did. And the doctors were even kind of thinking, wow, why? So they put me on medication, which now I've taken for 15 years. And like Jenny said, shortly after she started taking the Protandim, she said, you know, Mom, you've got to try this. And I thought, oh, okay, well, it can't hurt anything. So I started taking it. And like Jenny said, first of all, I noticed it really helped me with my sleeping, and I was feeling better. And then I guess it was about last year in September, I had some blood work. I have blood work every 3 months, and my A1C has always been around 7, which isn't bad, but it's not good either. So last September, I had my blood work done, and my A1C was 6.2. So I asked the doctor, I said, well, can I, instead of taking 2 pills a day, can I try 1? And she said, sure. So I did that. And then in January, I had more blood work, and my A1C was down under 6. It was like 5.8. So, and the doctor was amazed. And I've always been very healthy, and I was very anal about my health because I had the diabetes, and I didn't want problems from it. So anyway, when we got the blood work, I said, can I try and stop my medication? And she said, let's give it a shot. So that was in January. I had blood work again in May, and my A1C was 5.6. which is completely normal. I mean, that's a normal, great A1C. So I've now been off my medication since January. I'm going to have blood work again next month. I think I'm going to be great. I feel really good. The other issue that I've had is I had my early 40s high cholesterol. It was 252. They put me on medication. I've been on medication ever since then. The best it's ever been in all these years was around 205, 210. Last September when I went again and had my blood work, it was 190. And my last blood work in May, it was down to 172, which is amazing. And I'm actually going to talk to the doctor about either dropping me down in half or maybe even trying to get me off the cholesterol medication. You know, like Allison said, I'm not against modern medicine. I firmly believe in it. But if you can do something to activate your own body, to get it to function properly, and to get off those medications, I think we should do that. My two sisters are now on it through Jenny's testimony and a little bit of mine. I'm very anxious to see how they do. But for me to be off my diabetes medication and have it be completely normal, it's just been awesome. So that's my story. And I guess I pass it back to Jenny or to Allison.
Yes, thank you guys so much. And I mean, the two of you are just such amazing people. I enjoyed meeting you in person, and I love both of you. You have such incredible stories, and great job for your first Zoom, Carrie. You did great.
Thank you.
But no, those are powerful stories.